Computer use overview. The application that we will see demonstrates how to build an AI assistant that can interact with and control computer systems through a modern web interface. Computer use refers to AI models that can interact with and control computers. In simple terms, computer use means AI that can see a computer. We will use computer use preview model, and it's also called OpenAI CUA, computer use agent. These models can execute actions inside the computing environment such as browser or desktop. What is Scrapybara? Scrapybara is a cloud platform and SDK that enables AI agents to control computers, browsers, and desktops through an API. Computer tool from Scrapybara provides the AI with a way to take screenshots, click elements, type text, navigate pages, interact with the desktop. With Scrapybara plus CUA, the AI can see the screen via screenshots and understands user instructions. Execute actions through computer tool, observe results and iterate on them. How this differs from regular chatbot? A regular chatbot responds only with text. Computer use agent uses tools to control a real computer to complete tasks. This application demonstrates how computer use models enable AI agents to interact with the actual computing environment, not just generate text. You can learn how to build computer using agent using this computer use preview model here. But if you check your OpenAI account limit page, you can notice that you are on tier 1, and the computer use preview model doesn't support tier 1, and you see that it's not here. On the official model page, it clearly states that the computer use model is not available for tier 1 and tier 2. So the model is available only for tier 3 and above. And even then, access is not guaranteed. OpenAI manually approves access to this model. Because you are on tier 1, you cannot use the computer use model directly in your own OpenAI application. However, Scrapybara can still use OpenAI's CUA on your behalf because you are paying for Scrapybara. Scrapybara's platform includes CUA access regardless of your personal OpenAI tier. But you should also know that Scrapybara's free tier is limited by both runtime hours and agent credits. Either limit can prevent further usage. Let's run the application. I type go to github.com and search for React repositories. You can see that the AI uses screenshots to understand the current state and decide the next action, creating an iterative observe, act, observe loop until the task is complete. Go to Facebook React. Select pull requests. You can also interact with the browser. When I stop the instance, you may have noticed a drop-down next to the header. So now, instead of showing the interactive browser as we are not connected, we display the last 4 screenshots along with the history. So you can also view the JSON generated for this chat under the data messages folder. Actually, we passed the history to Scrapybara along with the last 4 base 64 images, as you can see it here, and send them to Scrapybara so the agent can understand the context. What I tried to do was select chat history from drop down and continue the conversation, since I can pass the history. However, when continuing and connecting, Scrapybara generates a new instance ID, and I attempt to pass the previously saved history to this new instance to continue the topic. But this didn't work because passing chat history to a new instance doesn't seem to work. It only works within the same session. We execute the Scrapybara AI agent with the specified model, tools, and messages. It streams assistant and tool messages through callbacks whilst checking the instance status at each step. On assistant message handles messages coming from the AI assistant, text responses, tool calls, and decisions. On tool message handles results from tool execution, such as screenshots, action outputs, and errors. Both follow the same pattern but capture different parts of the cycle. So on assistant message, the AI's output, on tools message is the tool's output back to the AI. On step checks the instance status at each step and aborts the operation if the instance stops and errors. Log everything so you can see it clearly. This is on assistant message, tools message, on step, and so on. As we already discussed, let's run another prompt. Show me lightning tools products and select social squared. So now you can see we have two entries, the previous chat and the current one, two separate sessions. I also implemented the mockup version, so you don't need to connect to Scrapybara. You can run a test locally to see the flow and the screenshots. Just keep in mind that since we are not connecting to Scrapybara, the app will only display the last screenshot. what you have to do is you should go to your environment local file, and I'll just show it here. You don't need Scrapybara API key, but you have to change mock value from false to true and save it. The mock test works. The mock test works if you ask about Amazon. For example, navigate to the Amazon website. Note that the mockup test will not be added to the dropdown.